Play on America!
This is the email I get. As an American, you can't understand what parasites the Muslims are. You know, I think I can. Our legal system is overflowed with Mexicans. Drunk driving accidents, fatalities on a regular basis. The welfare system is destroyed. All the hospitals are filled with Mexicans. The schools are filled with Mexicans. They're just parasites everywhere, right? Wrong. Say what you want about the Muslims. We have the same thing here with our Mexicans. We all need an underclass. Every society has an underclass. Without the underclass, we wouldn't know we were rich. We need the underclass to define us as wealthy. And the reality is, who's the parasite? The reality is the wealthy people are the parasites. I am more a parasite than an illegal immigrant. I have enough wealth to feed an entire village, and most Americans do. We could sustain life for an entire village somewhere. Yet we're keeping it for ourselves. Who's the parasite on this planet? Did God decide that there would be wealthy people and poor people? Or should we all work together? In the ancient times, that after they picked all the fruit, there was always a little bit left over on the trees, and always fruit that had fallen early to the ground. After the farmers left, the gleaners would come through. And the gleaners didn't own any property, and they were able to come through and they were able to glean off the ground or from the tree what remained. Our society had sort of a social security built in there. That if you weren't able to sustain for yourself and you didn't have the land, you were able to go through after the harvest was done and pick up what was left on the ground. It was probably bruised and battered, but you ate. My family, on my mother's side, were Irish immigrants. They moved into a town nearby called Petaluma. They built a house on rented land because they were poor Irish people. They were parasites. They raised their sheep. You know, all the people with integrity raised cattle. They raised sheep. They built a house where my great-grandmother was born. They moved out of the house they built themselves because they built it on rented land. And that house now is a monument, and a wealthy dairy family lives in the house that my great-grandmother was born in. Fortunately for me, my father was a town janitor who ended up becoming a quite wealthy land developer, and I'm able to work for and with him, which gives me the time to do all of the work that I'm doing here. And that's the amazing thing about America. You can go from being a janitor to a multimillionaire, and name, how many countries can you go from rock bottom to all the way to the top?
Play on America!